Hello folks, I found this styrofoam that came with a packing material, and I'm just going to test it out with the BB gun. I'm wondering if this thing will absorb the pellets or whether they're going to bounce off. I'm assuming it's going to have to do with the distance that I'm from the target. I guess if I'm really close, it's probably going to pierce through and get embedded in the styrofoam, but I don't know. So here we're going to give it a try with a Stinger P311, and we'll videotape it and see what we get. Okay, here we go. Okay, I see something. Actually, you know what? The gun didn't jam. It's actually inside of there. It went so far in that I can't even see it. I bet you my BBs are inside of here, but they're really jammed in there. Alright, that's it for the shooting, but yep, it looks like they're in there. And despite the fact that they're red in color, this is the only one I can see. The rest are in here, and they're really embedded in there. So I would call this a problem if you're trying to reuse your BBs or even see where they are. This is not going to be a good target to use because it just goes in quite too deep. And then try another material. Okay, I'll be back shortly. I just want to show you how far embedded these BBs were into the foam. I found a few BBs here, but look, I've dug up a huge area here, and it's probably about 1.5 inches in, and I can see a few of my BBs down here. There's 3 of them. So when I thought I misfired the gun, or that the BBs got stuck, actually I didn't realize because the foam did move. I noticed later that the foam, this piece of foam, styrofoam, actually jumped. So it must have impacted. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 so far, but I've just basically destroyed this thing. As you can see, it's really gone in deep. And I'm not sure if I'll find more in here. Oh, I think there's one there. I can see a hint. See? If I dig it out, there. There's another one. So, yeah, styrofoam is not a good target for these BBs. They seem to be way too powerful. I'm going to have to try out a few different materials and see what will work. Alright, so let's try some other things. Okay, so I've got the gun loaded and I've basically rigged up some soft, cushy, squishy material here and duct taped it to some insulation just in the basement on the wall. And this part in the middle here that you see, that's a sticky duct tape. I flipped it over and I put duct tape here. So essentially it should be either penetrate the duct tape and into this material, or it'll stick to the duct tape. We're going to give it a try and we'll see how it goes. So here we go. Alright, as you can see there, it's going right through the duct tape, so that's no good. And oh, it looks like it's gone even right through. Has it gone through? There's one there. Oh, There's one here. I don't know how it got there. I've shot 3 rounds so far, and that's a complete disaster. Oh, I should probably be careful not to make sure I pierce through my insulation here. Oh, I see another one right there. So that's 2. And where's the third one? I have no idea. So, once again, I don't think this material is going to be strong enough. It went right through. Perhaps if I back it with something harder, like a piece of wood, it will embed in here, and at least it's not very thick. See, it's a thin material, so I'll be able to see the BBs and retrieve them. But I can't find the third one. This foam backing material onto the, and there's a piece of wood there, and then have the concrete. So it should absorb it. It's not going to go through the wood, obviously, and the concrete's going to hold it back. So let's give it a try and see how this goes. Well, it's a fail on both accounts. It looks like it's bouncing right off the material, and it's flying across the basement here. So it looks like we need to have more absorption here. Otherwise, it's not going to embed itself in this material. It's just bouncing directly off. Okay, now for another test. I've added some carpet matting underneath this foam that was used for packing, and behind that is the wood. So let's give it another try and see how it goes. Alright, I've shot 3 times, and it looks like it completely bounced off again. I don't see, oh, there's a BB on the floor, so it looks like some of it got inside. But yeah, so far all of my tests have been dismal failures. I can't seem to figure out what material best absorbs it. The only thing that did it was styrofoam. All the other foams are too spongy and they bounce things off, and I'm assuming that they're going right through, or either they're compressing against the wood, and that's the problem. This wood is too hard. If it was a softer back surface, it may not bounce at all. Alright, back to the gel target for a final round of shooting, just so you can see it in action and how it hits the gel target. I mentioned before in an earlier video about the BBs rolling down. Unfortunately, I don't think there's any way they can avoid that except for changing some of the texture on the gel, but for the most part it works pretty effectively. If you videotape it, you can see where you shot, but sadly it will dribble down and there's not really much you can do about it. So let's see what happens. Here we go. Alright, so I'm not sure what happened there, but one of the BBs actually bounced off of this thing and hit me right in the stomach. And I must have been about, I'm sure about 20 feet away. So it just goes to show how powerful these little guys are. And this is not a toy by any means. Even though it's spring-loaded, there's no CO2 cartridge, and we're using plastic BBs, it can be quite dangerous. So just a warning to everyone who is playing around with this stuff. Just try to be safe, wear protection. I have glasses on all the time. But yeah, it can be quite troubling when I'm 20 some odd feet away and I shoot at this target and somehow the BB bounces off and is able to smack me right back. So I'm not sure. I'll have to look at the video and rewind and see what exactly happened. But anyway, hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you again.